Welcome back to my Let's Play of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In the last part, we may have lost. We were apparently found guilty, and now we were gonna die, but then Alter Ego came in and like hacked the system, and now we're trash, which is accurate because I am trash. So yeah, and now I think we're supposed to look at everything, trying to find a way out. Is that an airplane? Oh shit, is it? That's one like that one up in the school's garbage pit. Probably some technology Monokuma stole, I'm guessing, to make this, or make himself. Rattle, yeah, I didn't see that working. It's locked. Rattle. No matter how many times I push or pull or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. Oh, gross, don't eat that. But that was pointless too. Next I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink, and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. Did we get a Monokuma theater? That was the only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day has had to pass. Wait, really? Shit. He's been down here for a full day, and haven't eaten or drank. Oh god, that's not good. And all I did was sleep. And sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky was not a sign. Not exactly. Oh, hi. Garkunk. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarred me awake. I watched the pile of garbage jostle and formed an odd shape. Oh! Well, duh. Did someone fall down over there? Something fell from above. Look at that, it was trash. Okay, hold on. Now, before I look at the trash, I want to look at everything else too, because we didn't get to do that before. That's a rocket in a tank. Wait, a tank? Oh shit, I see that. Oh my god, what the fuck? I better not think too much about what I've seen down here. And that's her desk. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down with me. Trash. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever that was that tumbled down with me.
Just a second.
Oh! Kyoko! I knew she was against us! A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Yeah!
It
Oh.
smells awful.
Yeah, you have some, cup, gok. I think that's like ramen or something on your head. Yeah. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. Yeah, I knew she was on our side still. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. That face. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Oh, Kyoko! I'm so glad I chose not to, like, rat her out. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, and making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given it enough then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is all about I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, That's not such a bad thing to be good at. Okay, so, what's up? But Kyoko, why do you come rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the fact that you came down here in trash, falling however high the garbage chute is, like, this just proves that I made the right choice by not ratting you out. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me. And I can bring myself to do the same for you. Well, you're doing it now, so don't worry.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. Oh! What? What? I made up my mind to come to Hope Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible.
Huh?
Amnesia? Then it really is true. You lost your memory. Yeah, I didn't think she was lying about that.
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing. Talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. Do you remember that too? Is she like the ultimate detective or some shit? Because, like, I've been thinking about this for a while now. She has to be like the ultimate detective or like ultimate sleuth or something like that, right? Because, like, there's no way she's that comfortable with touching the dead bodies, and, like, she's super smart and she's figured out every single mystery. Like, she has to be a detective or something. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose, my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. Why?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into a missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. Why me? Because among everyone, you're least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind. Oh.
Understand. I should understand everything.
Okay, this was his dream, right?
My goal isn't to get out
Yeah,
of
it's
here.
to stay.
It's to to stay here.
I still don't know what that means. Gah! It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. Me too. I think that's just her personality. Do I need to talk to her again? You said you had a reason for doing all the investigation on your own. So how did it turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember. But at the very least, I was able to finally recall my purpose and my ability. It's a detective, right? Or like sleuth, or like mystery solver, something like that. You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective! Yeah, see, I started thinking that a while ago. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned it beforehand, but I was definitely thinking that for a while. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy. There was someone I had to find here in the school. Was it us? You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. Oh. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Oh. Because he's my father. That's why she says the headmaster had nothing to do with us. That's why she doesn't think the headmaster is the mastermind. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved. Right! She got so mad too. Yeah, I'll find a way.
Huh?
Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
no matter what?
So,
Kyoko? What's going on? Yeah,
I
my memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I've seen, when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Right, how'd that go? Then what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything had been was in there. You mean the mastermind, right? That would make sense too, because if the headmaster was a mastermind, they wouldn't need to, like, look through all that shit. They would have known where everything was.
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map.
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it on the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room in there. I assumed if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
Once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. I kind of hope we get to explore that soon, I'll be honest. What do you mean?
So,
I can't explain it. You need to see for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get the chance to soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Okay.
however,
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorm, there were no camera, no monitors, okay? Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, right?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her? The mastermind, right? Whoever the mastermind is had to kill her, because the fact that they said we were guilty when we know we weren't proves that they must have done it.
anyway,
But I can say for sure that the mastermind is involved directly. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed,
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
correct,
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
that's right,
Exactly. With minimum restriction, you are free to explore Hospital Academy at your discretion, yeah.
in other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. So they couldn't kill me themselves. They tried to use the class trial to do it. Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. Huh? It could have been you, Makoto. When she was in our room. I could have been the victim?
indeed,
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night?
I
I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct,
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
however,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped him, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct,
And their murder was disguised, and a dodo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean whoever killed Mukuro was also mastermind, right?
indeed,
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but didn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
correct,
You're right, that is a contradiction. That's not just Mukuro. They needed a class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
in other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto,
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. Oh, so... Apparently Mukuro was one of the ultimate despairs, but apparently they're the second one? The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
indeed,
think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event. You're talking about the tragedy.
That's right.
What happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem.
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation come from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Chapter 5. 100-mile dash, pain of a junk food junkie. The end. And no one died. To be continued. Immediately. Oh, Dream Island rocket, okay. No. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now
Anyway,
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Does she know how? Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you can get from the headmaster's room?
indeed.
Yeah, we can use it to unlock the door. Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensuring the mastermind. I would never part without it. And it can open any door of the school, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna use it to get out. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? So you click the door. Hey Kyoko, we can use this key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid into the keyhole. And then... yeah! Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. There wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death, deadly life. Oh shit. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up to the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Oh. Hey. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed in the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. Oh, jeez. I had no idea we were this far down.
Hey,
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. Now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. Oh. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
so.
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Oh, interesting. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? How come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. It's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains it. Oh, God. This is way back. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family. Oh, true!
However,
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Host Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. The reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Host Peak, was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that. Oh,
what?
reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Oh! Huh? But you'd be reunited after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. What? Aren't you already doing that technically before you came here? Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However,
but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I never would have had a chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might be feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He has his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
there is one thing. One thing I can never forgive. Really?
so...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. It was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family. Just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection through blood. Nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. Damn. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Please tell me that's unlocked. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Host Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? Right! Yes, okay, is that where we're gonna be? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. Okay, I do remember that. That was way back when, though, in like the first trial. Or in first investigation, I should say. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Oh, here goes nothing. I reached my hand up and pushed against the hatch. Oh. The hatch opened with ease, and so... We're back! Looks like we're back.
Phew.
I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Host Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Okay, now what do we talk for? So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the Mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then,
Let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. What? That's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time until we're found out. It's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at a nearby surveillance camera. So you're thinking rather than stress us out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What do you think is going to happen isn't.
because
Because the Mastermind is the one that's ensnared. Mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does that mean?
so
The Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the Mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. It'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Okay. Jesus, it has been a while since we've been around here. To the gym we go. Okay, well, we're out of the crash. That's good. Yeah. I'm still what's the word? Reeling, I think? Yeah. Reeling over what Kyoko just said about her father and all that stuff. Like, that was pretty deep. I do hope that he's okay, though. Like, if he's not here, is he, like, dead? Like, because if he's not the Mastermind, where is it? I mean, is he outside the school?
Well now,
Oh,
well
God.
now, well now.
Fucking... That was so loud in my ear. Hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I
But
do
Makoto's supposed to be
believe
dead.
it.
What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
Pum, pum.
You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you out?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing.
If the guilty party is exposed during their class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you. This time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko?
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. Oh, hi. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
Yeah? I lose?
Hey.
You! Explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up the latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to execute me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen to blacken and then executed, right?
Uh,
Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right,
And in response to that unexpected development,
indeed,
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No more than that. You must have realized that Makoto who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Damn, she is putting him in his place.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of being that could come to our aid even after you'd kill it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of the rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that! What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth.
Boom, boom.
And then you're just trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was a killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so much to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. Oh!
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepted your own defeat. Oh! If you want to earn your despair fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
Do Mukuro's trial all over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Oh! Yes, Kyoko! Tell him!
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Yeah. A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words. This would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the Mastermind themselves. But what reason would Mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. No, because Kyoko's right. They're gonna agree to it. Right? Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Very?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored. So I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what we suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is a long away climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting
You
end.
guys!
So for the final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mystery that's been buried here. Or buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last one that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you. That one was
it's
funny.
true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mystery of the school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student killed another, that's when class trial is held?
What's wrong?
I remember that, for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be suspicious. I've said it before, and it bears repeating. Everything is based off the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? And it's part of the regulations? Which would mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's very polarizing approach, I know. Okay, enough puns. Here's a hint. I'm sure he told you this, but... The killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only person to take a single step in host peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. Okay, well, this also means that, the headmaster / Kyoko is dead even in the school, right? That's just I mean, unless he's lying, but that just proves that he's not here. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Hello? Why do you go so quiet all of a sudden? Hello? Oh,
Now I'm really angry!
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad?
Whew.
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't care anymore. You all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair. Yep, you pooh.
Hey,
Come on, Moko, let's go. Okay. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Kyoko? Once again, I would think Kyoko's dead. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is ahead of us. Yeah, true.
whew,
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because,
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let their guard down. Like I said. When was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
so,
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they hijacked the airways to broadcast our school life to the outside world. Yeah? Yeah, that... They definitely said that.
listen.
And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airways seems unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about anything like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it?
in other words,
Think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something like that. Difficult. A reason?
so,
They had to show the world something no matter the cost. Us killing each other. Excuse me. They wanted to show the world?
It would seem...
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other. To show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept? You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would advise. That group whose only purpose and motivations come from despair. But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet that same motivation will lead to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words...
Excuse me. Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least...
At least, that's how those who's watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Oh god! Junko broke the rules so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me. God, it's been a while since we've seen that. So instead they tried to use the class trial following all the proper rules to get me killed. They began a class trial that didn't have a right answer. They made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope. They have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words...
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their regulations. All that was just hunch, right? You were still able to change them to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
However...
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
Wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least. I won the bet. So let's do a quick sign. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. Really? I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. While presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I showed mine uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey.
Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However...
Is that really possible? Huh?
Anyway...
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
Shall we go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Okay, well, I'm going to end that here. Wow, a lot happened. But, in the next part, I'm assuming we will, I guess, tell the others the final showdown is approaching. And eventually, we will expose Monokuma for who they are, hopefully, and win. So yeah, that's it.